was Chatham, Robert Wheat, a name from another world. But he walked down to the river docks where the flags and cotton curled. He found them among the lord and crews, the gamblers and the street, the men the polite society would never care to meet. They carried scars and tempers, they carried anger and pride. But Wheat saw something buried there that others left outside. He did not see just broken men, he saw that courage was still alive. A storm that needed purpose, a reason to survive. Then Major Wheat stood among them, and they knew him as their own. Not a man who ruled above them, but a man who stood alone. He knew the streets that shaped them, he knew the battles they had fought. He knew the trouble following them and the courage they had brought. 500 men from hard lives answered when the call came through. Not polished men or gentlemen, but soldiers tried and true. He never tried to make them angels, he never thought he could. He only tried to aim their fury towards something he thought was good. He never tamed the tigers, Lord knows he never could. He only learned to point their fury towards something they thought was good. They were lightning in his hands, they were thunder when they came, and every storm a man commands leaves scars upon his name. But a major's heart must carry more than glory from the fight. For some battles come in darkness long before the morning light. One night the guns were silent, but trouble came again, when some of his own tigers crossed the line between right and sin. A guard was killed at the guardhouse, a brotherhood turned wild. They tried to break their comrades free, but lost the honor they defiled. Those were men who marched beside him, and he watched stand tall in flame. But a soldier without honor could bring shame upon their name. The rifles fired at sunrise, the sentence had been done, and Bob Wheat wept inside his tent for the loss of everyone. 416 marched with him when Manassas called their name. Through the roar of cannon fire, through the furnace of the flame, their rifles emptied in their hands, no time remained to load. So they threw away their muskets and took the harder road. With Bowie knives in hand, they charged into the fight, and the world learned at Bull Run what the tigers could do that night. He never tamed the tigers, he never broke their flame. He only gave their fury a purpose and a name. They were lightning in his hands, they were thunder on the field, and every man he ever led left something through the years. At Gaines' Mill the smoke was rising, the earth beneath them shook. Another field of fire and death, another place where courage looked. Bob Wheat stood before them when the hardest fighting came. He never asked his tigers to walk a road he wouldn't claim. The bullets found him standing, the storm he always led, and the men who followed Bob Wheat watched their commander shed. No bugle and no orders, just a voice above the din. A tiger choking on the smoke where the old major had been. He threw his rifle in the mud and he cursed the battle line. They killed the old major, boys, this war ain't yours or mine. I'm going home, I've done my part, let Richmond send its best. I wouldn't fight again this day, not even at Christ's behest. Don't carry me away, boys, leave me where I fall. I have marched beside you long enough, I have given you my all. Bury me here among my men, where all my brave boys fell. Let the earth that holds the tigers hold Bob Wheat just as well. Wheat's tigers were gone by then, but the name just carried on. At the railroad cut they ran out of shot, but their fury still burned strong. They threw their rocks and held the line till the reinforcements came, and the men who fought that day still honored Wheat's old name. The first tigers were long gone, but their spirits still remain. The stripes were worn by other men, but they remembered where they came. He never tamed the tigers, he never killed their flame. He took forgotten men of New Orleans and gave them back a name. But storms need someone standing with a hand upon the rein. When Bob Wheat fell at Gaines' Mill, the tigers weren't the same. The men still wore the stripes, the war still called them on, but the heart that held them together had already gone. The docks of New Orleans faded, the old battalion disappeared, but the generals kept the tiger stripes to march new men they didn't fear. And in the smoke above the battlefield, you can still hear Wheat's voice say, they have killed the old major, and we are going home. Let the whole world know today I wouldn't even fight for God himself.